Alright lads, well I think at this point we can easily say Wano has been an amazing arc for the two right hands of the Straw Hats. You know what I mean? Well, I mean, I guess Sanji's the left hand and Zoro's the right hand. That's the better way to put it. They have gotten so much development in that. Well, Sanji was the last arc and Zoro's this arc, but Sanji's still getting development this arc. It's still continuing on his development. And in such a good way. And now Zoro is getting his pre-time skip treatment. Because in pre-time skip, they'd always build upon his character bit by bit in small chunks. Because he's always the badass. His general basic character hasn't changed. Unlike Sanji, where his basic fundamental character is changing. He just grows in smaller ways in a personal level. And I think now we're seeing that for Zoro in the New World, which is amazing. And I know I jumped straight into it because this chapter was entirely a Zoro King fight. So I can just talk about my opinion on Zoro this time as kind of a review discussion in a way. I'm not going to talk too much about the fight itself because there was so much to do with Zoro that I want to talk about because of this review. Now I will say before we get started, I love how King is being built up, right? Because that's the thing, he is the right hand of the strongest man on the planet right now, or the strongest creature, excuse me. So of course he should be an absolute beast. Like, and that's the thing, because we've always said, okay, Zoro is like a captain, right? It's like two captains on the same crew. Because he is, because he's a supernova as well. Like, Zoro and Sanji in their own right could be captains, right? So having King be on that same level and be above it, like, King could easily take a Yonko spot. Which I think is amazing. Now, it also means people saying, you know, Zoro and Sanji are on the same level. I feel like that's gone now, because King is obviously stronger than Queen, or at least by a little bit. You see, it's weird. I don't give a shit about the power scaling, but it's also fun to talk about, because you can tell Oda likes to kind of put little hints in there and kind of annoy people, change it around a little bit. But I feel like, you know, it doesn't really matter at the end of the day. They're both amazing characters, you know what I mean? I love both of those characters. And I'm saying that now, because I know in previous videos I've said, you know, I'm not the biggest fan of Zoro. He's cool, he does what he does great, but Sanji is just a better character. I don't agree with that statement anymore. I mean, I do still kind of prefer Sanji, but I'm kind of struggling a lot more to say that which is above the other, because I have been rewatching the series recently. I'm rewatching Skypiea right now. I reread Alabasta. And I'm hoping to reread like Ennis Lobby and Marineford later, or maybe Thriller Bark. I don't know, we'll see. I got a 4-hour car journey tomorrow, so I'll probably reread Thriller Bark and Marineford maybe. I'm not feeling Sabbaty right now, I don't know why. Not in the mood for that on a 4-hour car journey, I don't know why. But that is besides the point. I've realised all the coolest things Zoro has done and all the cool character moments he got pre-time skip. Yeah, I realized all the cool shit his character went through pre-time skip. Like, even the stuff in Baratie, obviously I knew about that, but I didn't remember the impact it had and how it humanizes Zoro for me, because I like Zoro New World, right? But there's been no introspection with Zoro until this chapter, which I think really endeared me to him even more. Because I was enjoying him pre-time skip, especially in Skypiea. He's not introspective, he's just badass Zoro, but it's in like such a cool way. I'll talk about Skypiea itself and how it puts me at ease for the future of One Piece later on in a future discussion. But I just enjoy Zoro's kind of dynamic. He just gets lost and beats the shit out of everyone, but also is kind of just very chill and funny. He's a lot less like, he's a lot more chill, laid back, which I feel like it's actually a good development from post-time skip, you know? He's like switching between the two. Like, unlike Luffy, he's like, when you need to get serious, you need to get serious. And that Punk Hazard shit is like a great moment for me with his character. And same with NS Lobby. You know, all this shit has been really good for Zoro, and now it's kind of to peak here, where he's like, he understands his own flaws, and he's like, I need to sort this out. And I love to see him think back to the Wado this chapter, because that's the thing. I love Zoro's backstory and kind of, you know, inheriting the goal of a friend to, in memory of them is a real sweet idea, and like making their sword the best in the world in a sense. I like how he thought about the Wado and kind of his concern for it when it was falling off the side and he picked it up. So I'm really happy about that concern for the Watto. And looking back at it, we got another flashback with that and a bit added to it. Okay, so we know, I think it's Kirishiro, or not Kirishiro, but the old man that made the Enma, right? So he was the elder by the looks of it. And it was actually really cool to see now why Zoro was okay with cursed blades, because he had a discussion with the village elder, I'm just going to call him because I can't remember how to pronounce his name. And he said, oh, cursed blades are just... How did he phrase it exactly? I have the chapter up here. Let me get it real quick. He says, it's a joke that deadly swords are believed to be cursed. That's just how named blades are. I consider it praise. Let the weak spread their nonsense. It means those swords fulfill their purpose well. You know, that type of shit. It makes you understand why Zoro was okay with a cursed blade and why he was able to wield it. And it's cool to get that little added context to Zoro's beliefs, you know. On top of the fact, we're getting to see that he is involved with Wano in some sense. And I really enjoy that, you know, because we didn't get much backstory on Zoro, and he's just been like the cool, level-headed bro for this series. And I didn't remember all of this a lot. Like, I remembered it, obviously, but I didn't remember the impact it had when watching it until I watched it the second time recently. All these moments like nothing happened, and the NS Lobby moment in the cabin when he's like, Usopp apologizes, and even Skypea when he's just having the crack. And it's the one time we see him like just kind of being chill, which is kind of funny. But this has been really good for him. He's been introspective, and we get to see his conquerors. Now it's like they're re-establishing, you know, he has kingly ambitions. And I love that there was a lot of people saying, you know, there's going to be conflict now, because obviously the whole idea that Oda hasn't read is that two kings can't coexist or whatever, that was brought up in Dressrosa. But I love how we get a flashback at the end of the chapter when he does use Conqueror's Hockey, and Zoro goes and looks back at when Luffy said, right, he was like, oh, well, greatest swordsman? I kind of need that for my crew. The Pirate King can expect nothing less. So his ambition is kind of linked to Luffy now, and that's how he kind of reconsidered it after he trained Mihawk. He's like, I need to do this for Luffy. Was trained by Mihawk, and now he's kind of saying that he needs to do this for Luffy and not only himself. Which is cool. It's cool to see how Zoro's kind of shifted from like, if you get in my way, I'll put you down, to like being entirely faithful to Luffy. It's also a credit to Luffy's kind of, you know, charisma and ability to be a king, or how he's being portrayed as like the future Pirate King in this series. It's like he can sway such a man to his side, which has always been hinted at throughout the series, which is really cool. Also, we got this really cool panel where I'll get it up now. I won't put it on screen for like copyright reasons, but you can, if you read the chapter, you'll see it, right? It's near the start. Yeah, I'll get it. I want to get it up again. It's just before King does his stupid face again. Zoro's doing lethal lion song, and the way Zoro is drawn and cutting King here is like so clean. I just love it. It's like a real sketchy drawn, but it's like done in such a clean way. I love it. I love this panel. It's just been a real cool action panel. We haven't got an entire chapter based on one fight for so long. Like, we got a bit of King, basically, Queen, sorry, basically saying, oh yeah, he's a Lunarian, telling us what Zoro doesn't know, which is kind of cool. And also hinting at there's a lot more to learn about how they were exterminated, so that's really cool as well. And Sanji's bringing it up, so he's definitely going to find out at some point, and I have a feeling it has to do with Vegapunk, to me personally, I think. But yeah, no, this chapter was amazing. I really enjoyed it, and I think I wouldn't have enjoyed it as much if I didn't rewatch the stuff and have an appreciation for Zoro's character a lot more, and kind of his role as like the foundation that the Pirate King must stand on, in a way. You know, he is, if he wasn't around, Luffy wouldn't be the Pirate King he is today. Zoro keeps him in check, and I feel like it's good now that we can see it, like, that extends to himself. He's able to keep himself in check and make sure he realizes, like, I need to fucking get better at this, you know? It's a fucking stellar chapter, man. I really enjoyed it. Top 10 chapter. Also, he's getting Shisui back. I'm telling you, he's getting Shisui back by the end of the arc. Or he's going to have the 3 Katessia blades, one or the other. I think he'll have the 3 Katetsu blades by the end of the series, maybe. But he's getting Shisui back right now, I'm telling you. The end of the arc, Shisui. But anyway, that's all I've got to really say about this chapter. I really enjoyed it. Banger chapter, 10 out of 10. I don't know if there's a break next week, but we'll see when we get there.